When construction is complete at the U.S. Army Garrison Japan's Sagamihara Family Housing Area, the majority of Army families living in the Kanto Plains will live in this housing area. And the construction of several new community support facilities has created a buzz in the community. Well, come with me as we take a look at those facilities and all the services they will offer. I'm Sherman Hogue. Welcome to the Rising Sun. The digital projector is getting some last-minute alignments prior to the opening of the only theater of its kind within the Pacific region. The 10th Regional Support Group returned to Sendai to check on the rebuilt area and also to see how friends are doing that were made during such a devastating event. Here's that story along with other news that is happening around U.S. Army Japan.
Sometimes it's the little things you remember about a place.
Hey, y'all like the spicy chicken?
Sometimes it's the big things.
Yes, we went to Ishinomaki. We moved to Ishinomaki, the big sports complex, and we went out to help clear out, I think it was 12 schools and 2 train stations. Hard labor. Not one time did a soldier complain. They always motivated to help, was honored to help.
Sometimes it's about the eats, and sometimes it's about the streets.
It's a bit surreal. I mean, never thought I'd come back.
But for the 10th Regional Support Group soldiers returning to northeastern Japan to visit friends they made during the 2011 tsunami recovery efforts, it's about something else.
I would tell them thank you for the privilege and the honor to assist you in restoring this area of Sendai.
Reporting for U.S. Army Japan, I'm Jay Mann.
The JXR 2012 is an exercise for the JGSDF Eastern Army, that's the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force Eastern Army, to perform as if an earthquake had just happened in Tokyo. In this scenario, an 8.5 earthquake had happened about 3 days ago on Monday. The DAT team, or Deployable Assessment Team, from U.S. Army Japan, that's us, deployed forward to assess the current situation and find out how we can support and liaison with our Japanese counterparts in order to provide any necessary rescue support, damage assessment operations, or other types of support. I'm with the I-Corps Forward, basically a unit designed for contingency or humanitarian and disaster relief type responses. Our mission is to deploy forward in case of an emergency situation and provide that command and control for any elements who are following on after. The exercise is going very well. We've identified various ways of communication that needs to take place between us and our counterparts. The assessment team was able to deploy with its gear in a timely and responsive manner, and the opportunity to work with our Japanese counterparts is invaluable, especially to adjust to lessons learned from Tomodachi, the earthquake that happened in 3/11, as well as the following tsunami.
The U.S. Army Garrison Japan change of responsibility between outgoing Command Sergeant Major Scarlett Stable and incoming Command Sergeant Major Katrina Naji was held recently at Camp Zama. More than 100 people from both on and off the installation, such as Zama City Mayor Mikio Endo, IMCOM Pacific Command Sergeant Major Carl Schmidt, and representatives from local communities attended the ceremony.
Within all units, from the company level all the way to the Major Army Command level, it is important to properly and formally acknowledge the change in leadership of our senior non-commissioned officer. And for all units, but especially for a garrison, when we speak of responsibility, we mean a lot of responsibility.
Command Sergeant Major Stable completed a 3-year assignment at U.S. Army Garrison Japan and will move on to Fort Leavenworth, Kansas to be an instructor at the Command and General Staff College.
For those of us who provide that quality of life, our quality of life is measured by the relationships and bonds we develop with those with whom we work, and I personally can say that my quality of life is higher than I ever imagined.
Command Sergeant Major Naji has a variety of soldier experience, from being a budget analyst to serving as a drill sergeant. She was previously assigned to the 129th Combat Sustainment Support Battalion in Fort Campbell, Kentucky as the Battalion Command Sergeant Major.
I am very excited. I'm very excited. Continuing the legacy of what they've built here so far and building on that and making it a stronger and better community.
Since its activation, the mission of U.S. Army Garrison Japan has been to serve as the Army's home in Japan for the soldiers, civilians, and their family members stationed there. That mission now continues under the leadership of a new senior non-commissioned officer. Reporting for U.S. Army Garrison Japan, this is Dustin Perry.
Hey, Clueless, stop and buckle up, man. We're just going to the bowling alley. 5 blocks, 5 miles, no difference. It is the law. I'm gonna do it, just stop the noise, man. Don't be clueless. Buckle up every time you drive. And that means government vehicles, too.
Disaster Recovery Team, United States Army Garrison Japan, you are watching Rising Sun.
The SHA Community Recreation Center has the new club with the dining room the dining room is called the Pacific Rim, and the bar is called Blue Moon. And at the far end near Arndt Elementary School is the new library. The club is going to feature a different kind of dining with 6 yakiniku tables. The menu itself is going to be comfort foods from America back at home and the Asian comfort foods. The Blue Moon, we're going to feature 5 draft items like Asahi, MGD, and Honey Vice. And the menu for the club is basically featuring family menus. So we're going to have great kid menus and a selection of different kind of family type of dining experience. School-age care facility is equipped with a large gym, a kitchen to help the kids with home economics, and a lab for technology. And the library is going to be twice the size as the existing library.
This is more than what I expected. It's great. This is my first time in the facility, but it's a beautiful facility. There's more than enough for everybody on SHA to enjoy here, and the food has been great so far.
It's really nice. It's a nice little patio. They have the bar and they have the restaurant separate. So it's really nice. You can bring your family. People can go out, sing karaoke, and the food's good. So it's very pleasant.
I think that the new library is really wonderful. It is nice to have a lot more of a selection, similar to what there is at Zama.
Well, this facility looks a whole lot better than the last one, and it's over double the size of the last one.
It's really spacious, and it feels like a better aroma, atmosphere to look at books and read them.
Well, it's an attribute to the variety of what we have to offer within this one structure. I mean, you have entertainment, you have a restaurant, you have education, and it's a great dinner and a movie night. It's wonderful for the families that surround and within walking distance of this facility to be able to come up with their spouses, their children, their families, and have an entire evening right here in this one facility. And that's what makes it great, is addition to this already great community.
Keeping things in order, like the books in the new library located on SFHA, is very important. And the running of the full-scale exercise on U.S. Army Garrison Japan has also taken large amounts of organization to keep all the moving parts in place. Daisuke Sato followed the exercise to give us a more in-depth look.
All Army installations are required to do exercises similar to this one every year. And the purpose of it is to validate the ability of all of our elements within the garrison, our Directorate of Emergency Services, our public affairs offices, to make sure that they are integrated and capable of reacting to emergency management issues, whether they're natural or man-made. And so what we have throughout this entire week are scenarios that stress our capabilities to respond to all kinds of different situations.
It's
All of our first responders, first receivers, obviously didn't know the scenarios. So as they played, they had to treat it as it was real because they thought it was real until they actually rolled up to the scene. On Monday, we conducted a downed aircraft, which we had an aircraft that was actually an in-flight emergency called in. It landed hard. It actually caught on fire. We had a mass casualty result of that, and also we went into cleanup of the spill afterwards. And on Tuesday morning, we did have a 9.1 earthquake. We had a building that collapsed. We had people that were trapped inside. Sagamihara City, Zama City, Camp Zama Fire Department responded. They actually rescued the people out of the area. On Tuesday afternoon, we had an active shooter scenario, which ended up with the active shooter, everything went fine. We got people out. Today, we also conducted a sea burning exercise, which we had a vehicle that actually came on the installation with 2 canisters that were filled with chlorine gas.
今回は、私の分隊で、8名で実施しています。全体的には、新潟からこっちに来てるんですけど、全部で20名で来ています。自分たちは普段こういう訓練をあまりしていないので、いざという時に、日本米軍と自衛隊が、そのことが起きた時に連携して行動できるようになるための訓練だと思っています。
My job is to respond as an EMT here. So when an emergency goes down, we respond with an ambulance, myself, another medic, a translator, and a driver for each ambulance. I think it helps work out any kinks or problems we might come across so that later we can work them out for when it is a real situation. I think that's the biggest benefit is working out what goes wrong so it doesn't happen for real.
なかなか経験できない訓練をですね、基地管理隊の隊員の方はじめ、座間市、相模原市と合同で大規模災害に訓練が実施できたことは今後の消防の人生にとって自分はものすごくプラスだと感じます。
連携はすごくよく取れたと思います。その中でも座間市、相模原市さんの分断がすごい早く集まって、我々がやる作業をさらにスピードアップさせる起爆剤になったのでとても助かりました。
要救助者および活動隊員の除染活動になります。大まかな部分というのは大体一緒なんですけど、細かいその除染の方法ですとか、隊員がその材に触れてその検知の仕方ですとかね、そういうのはだいぶ違うので、その点は勉強になりました。
First and foremost, we can't do anything in a vacuum or all by ourselves, the garrison. Everything that we do is dependent upon the professionalism and working closely with our host nation, whether that be police, whether that be firefighters, whether that be medical. All of those areas require very close and recurring coordination with our host nation emergency responders. And one thing that we're very proud of is the ability to work very closely and be in sync with our Japanese emergency managers.
相模原消防には4つの消防署がありまして、今回は南消防署から高度救助隊、それと相模原消防署から指揮隊をこちらに派遣してあります。お互いにですね、顔が見える位置で一つの目的の中で訓練をすることが非常に重要と思っています。
大きな災害になりますと、我々の消防力だけでは太刀打ちできません。やはりあらゆる消防力を使ってですね、やはりそれに立ち向かうということが大切だと思います。やはり、訓練を通じてですね、やはり隊員同士のやはり顔の見える関係ですね。やはり現場で、何を言っているのか、何を考えているのか、そういうような関係がすぐ分かるような関係をこれから構築したいと思います。
With all of our exercises, immediately what we do afterwards is what we do an after-action review, and we identify those that are strengths and those areas that we did well in, but also those areas that we can do better in. And we identify those in detail and then determine whether or not we need to apply additional resources to those areas or to just provide additional time in rehearsing or practicing those elements. And that's why external evaluators that have come throughout the Pacific here, their feedback is critical so we can identify those areas to continually improve. And what this is just that. It's a process, and it's not an end state. And so we use these kinds of exercises throughout the year to constantly improve and identify areas where we can get better at.
You'll see the difficulty in hitting a small target while playing a game of darts here at the Blue Moon Lounge. Pilots from the 78th Aviation Battalion experienced landing on a moving target while conducting deck landings in conjunction with the USS Curtis Wilbur.
Today we are doing deck landing qualifications in conjunction with the Navy to qualify our crews on the mission and to expand our mission profile by being able to conduct this task. To meet the boat underway off the coast of Japan and conduct the landings on the ship while it is moving, and the intent is to have 5 landings per pilot in order to obtain qualification.
Necessity for us to be proficient at this, doing such a difficult task. In the event of a natural disaster, or if we were to go to our wartime mission, one of our critical tasks is to go out to Navy ships, pick up supplies and personnel, and transport them back and forth.
Once they transition to final approach to the ship, as they start to take all their commands from the ground personnel or the ship personnel as far as executing the landing. At that point in time, the commands that we follow as pilots transition from the crew chiefs to the shipboard personnel. The crew chiefs at that time are making sure that the aircraft is in a safe position to touch down.
This is very important for us here at 78th Aviation, just due to the fact that it enhances our capabilities as a unit, so we can get involved with the Navy, receive support, take support to them, and also transport personnel and equipment back and forth. Typically here in the Army, we train with just Army personnel and equipment. So whenever we get the opportunity to do any kind of joint training, I think it's an excellent opportunity to go out and see how they conduct themselves in their environment.
Because not a lot of Army personnel and Blackhawks get to do this type of training. And it's just something different. Working with the sister service is always exciting for us, and doing something where we actually go out and do an actual real-time mission is always exciting for us.
Here at the Pacific Rim, you can order the Sakura course of yakiniku, a Japanese-style Korean barbecue where you can control how your meat is seasoned and cooked while experiencing cooking out in the comforts of a restaurant. Rising Sun will be right back.
Life in Japan is what you make it. When we're here, there's a lot of things that are provided for us, and there's some things that aren't. We can help change that. By taking positive steps, by keeping positive attitudes, we can influence our quality of life. For example, giving feedback to a military climate survey or getting involved in the community can change an installation's quality of life for the better. Living well in Japan, it's not just living well, it's living right.
This is actually only the second digital 3D movie theater in APHIS theater locations worldwide. First ever in PAC for a digital theater. So this is a great opportunity for Camp Zama community to have a digital theater system. There's 264 seats, and we also have 4 wheelchair accessible locations. Now we're going to be able to offer first-run movies where in the past we've not been able to do it, and we'll be able to have more showings of that particular movie than what we've had in the past. Some of the improvements or some of the benefits for the community for this theater is one, the 3D movies, which is digital, which I know the community is really looking forward to, as well as the movie selections, getting them quicker and having them here a lot longer than we have in the past. The price will be the same as it was before, which for a regular movie will be $5 for adults and kids are $2.50. If it's a 3D movie, the price will increase for an adult by $2.50. And of course, the kids' price is half of an adult price for a 3D movie. That price also includes the 3D glasses with it. Well, you can play many movies, only one movie at a time, but we can have several showings during the day. And we have restructured our theater showings to where we'll be able to offer right now, starting on the Saturday after grand opening, we'll have our summer showings, which will start in the afternoon and will run until August the 15th, which will be mostly targeted for the kids in the community. And in the evenings, we'll have one showing. On the weekends, we'll have numerous showings. We'll have 3 on Friday night, several showings on Saturday to include afternoon and evenings, and then we'll also have showings on Sundays. So every night of the week, you'll be able to come to the theater and see a movie.
This is the Art and Science Room located in the School Age Care Building that recently opened its doors to the public. In here, students can open their minds to the worlds of art and science. The Camp Zama Chapel office recently organized a group of volunteers to travel to Ishinomaki City, located in Miyagi Prefecture, to help rebuild a park that was in the area affected by the Great Eastern Earthquake March 11, 2011. Takashi Matsuda joined the volunteers as they went on the road.
Fifteen of us came from Camp Zama, where pretty much today we've got 2 projects going on. One here in the apartments where we're clearing the apartments and getting them ready to be renovated. We're going to pull up the floors, the walls, the ceilings. We're also taking a lot of trash off the property because tsunami brought just a lot of different stuff. So we're clearing off the glass and everything that's broken and taking it to the dump here. The other project that we're doing is in the local apartment building, the park. Clearing the park, all the trash and all the debris. They've taken off the first 2 to 3 inches of soil that was contaminated with salt, and they're starting to prepare the park for playground equipment and trees.
B1 is a network of house churches down in Osaka, Kansai region. And last year after the tsunami, we came up here on March 15th and started working, helping the people, bringing in food, supplies, water, clothes, warm things for them to wear, and those kinds of things.
Once every 3 months, we'd love to come up here and continue to assist B1 in their efforts and their recovery efforts. The efforts will go on for years. So we've got an opportunity living here in Honshu to be a constant presence in this region and in this area, and a constant support structure for B1 and all their efforts. So I'd love to continue to stay in touch with them and continue to foster the relationship so that we can bring more people and more resources to this region and to this area. From Camp Zama, from little Camp Zama, which is exciting to me.
It's devastating to see the people that have been affected by this, and to see that we're about 16 or 17 months past the event, and to see what's still here really gives you perspective on what it was probably like at the time it happened.
It's kind of sad to see a lot of stuff destroyed, more than I actually imagined.
I really can't imagine how scary it was when the water came in, if they were here.
20分ぐらい経ってからゾーッと音がしてきて、正面が海なんですね、市場なんですけど、そこからこう津波波がこう7メーターぐらいの波がこう音と同時にこう流れてきましたね。私は自分の5階に住んでるもんで、実際にこう津波を見たもんですから、もう車は人は流れてくる、亡くなった人もいる。黄色青いところの辺まで、いよいよちょっと上まで行ってますね。チャドさんD1チームが来て、彼は公園と思わなかった。掃除してるうちにだんだんきれいになってきて、公園だっていうことで、じゃあ僕らも何度かしなくちゃいけないっていうことで相談を受けました。
This is a park that after the tsunami was just completely covered in rubble, cars, trucks, all kinds of everything you can imagine, fish, everything, and it did not look like a park. We asked if we could, is there any way we could help put in a new park? And so we've been raising funds, and many people have given and donated to be able to put in some new equipment, new benches, and new pavilions and different things for the kids and for the people here.
楽しい。うちの一番下も遊ばせてもらいます。国境を越えてみんなで協力し合えるっていうのは素敵だなって思いました。
This is my second time here in Ishinomaki, and I'm just really thankful that I'm able to be here to help.
The Army team has been great. They brought some unique ideas. They got a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and really just a good spirit. Came in and cleaning up and doing some dirty work, but with a good attitude.
I think that it's great that everyone's taking part in helping. We live here, and that means that we should help. We'd help if this was in the U.S. just because it's our country, and this is like our country because we live in Camp Zama.
Really, really hard work, but yeah, I think like if everyone works together, we can finish. And yeah, hopefully people can live here.
But the biggest thing, the most important thing that I think is interesting thing about this project has been that the community has been really excited about this.
感謝の言葉かありませんね。こんだけやってくれるとは自分でも全然思わなかったんで、実現ができてすごく今ホッとしてます。ホッとしてる中にも自分の嬉しさとかやったって気持ちが入ってますね。
The purpose is just to serve, again, the people of Ishinomaki and help, I guess, reestablish a sense of normalcy here, whatever that looks like for the people here. And I think that's the entire team's mission this week is just to serve people and to be servants. I mean, we have no agenda. We're just coming here ready to do whatever it takes to help the people of this region regain part of their life and regain some hope.
Ishinomaki!
本日のお祭りはこの施設を、竣工して、その竣工のお祭りをこの土地の神様またこちらをお守りいただいている神様にご報告申し上げて、その後この施設の中をですねきれいにお祓いをさせていただいて、正常な状態で皆様にお使いいただくためのお祭りでございます。こちらの神様をまずお呼びをさせていただいて、その神様にお供え物をさせていただきます。でそこで、今回の、このお祭りの趣旨を神様にご報告いたします。で神様のお力をお借りしてそれぞれの場所をくまなくお祓いをさせていただいて、本日のお祭りにご参列いただいた方に、真心を込めてお参りをいただいて、その後、神様にお供えしたものをお下げして元の場所に神様をお返しするという流れがございます。基本的なものとしては神様にお供え物を捧げるための、案といいまして台でございます。でそれぞれに、お供え物をさせていただくこの三宝というお皿のようなものだと思っていただければ、それをご用意をさせていただいてそこに、果物とか野菜とか、お餅とかお酒とかお米とかそういったものをお供えをさせていただきます。でもう一つ必要なのは榊でございます。榊は神様が宿る場所またお祓いをさせていただく道具、最後に皆様方がお参りいただく玉串そういったものに全てにこの榊というものを使います。これは植物でございましてそれを神事には多く使います。この工事は大勢の関係者が携わってできております。 中には罪汚れ、そういったものがこの施設でついてしまっていて、その後皆様方がお使いになられた後に、事故があったりとか、なんか災いが起きたりする可能性がありますので、それを全てお祓いをさせていただいて、正常な状態、きれいな状態で皆様にお使いいただくためのお祭りです。
Never been able to play this game. Recently, some kids in the local area got to get some first-hand or foot lessons in soccer from the British Football Academy that paid a visit to Camp Zama.
We have it every summer about this time frame to give the kids a chance to learn skills they need for the next level and to get them ready for upcoming fall soccer.
We are the British Football Academy. Today we have 3 of our coaches who are coaching the children for this week on Camp Zama. The younger children from the ages of 5 to 8 years old will be doing a 2-hour session from 2 till 4 o'clock. And then older children from 9 through till 18 years old have a 3-hour session from 5 till 8 o'clock every evening this week from Monday to Friday for 5 days.
What is really unique about them is they specialize in youth, how to talk with youth, how to do games with youth, and how to interact with youth. And I think that's why the youth respond to that and they enjoy their games because they like being in an atmosphere that's fun, safe, and where adults can act like kids and they can act like kids and learn soccer at the same time.
I think about the soccer camp. It's great for kids because you play games and a lot of stuff.
It is very entertaining, so I don't have to sit at home and do nothing.
For kids, so the main focus is that they have fun because, you know, children, if they're not having fun, it's hard for them to learn. But when they're having fun, they absorb much more, they learn much more, and you know, everyone loves to see kids with a smile on their faces, and that's what we want. We don't want to see them looking too serious and not having fun. No, we want to see them with big smiles and kicking a football around and having fun, yeah.
We have volunteer coaches here on base here, and a lot of coaches for the first time they're just volunteering for their kids because they want to have coaches, but we try to get specialized clinics like this right here where even we have a couple of coaches that are here today that are learning some drills, some skills that the kids can learn, and these are professionals. These are not just athletes. They are professional in teaching kids how to play soccer the proper way, so when they reach the next level they'll have the skills needed so they can play on par with their counterparts.
It's fun and a good workout.
I've learned a lot of tricks, and I've gotten a lot more control with the ball.
Main methodology, our ethos is football fun for all. We focus on the fun part of playing football and teach football to kids who've never played before and to kids who have played, but do it through different games and activities involving a ball but don't necessarily seem like they're playing soccer.
Soccer is the best sport.
I hope you've enjoyed exploring the new facilities out at Sagamihara Family Housing Area. For questions or comments, please like us on Facebook and follow us there to keep up with things happening in and around the garrison. For more in-depth stories and cultural coverage from the Army's home in the land of the rising sun, I'm Sherman Hogue. We'll see you next month.